of GH Support Association Germany. GASEG, we defend your right. GQ Travels, fly today and pay tomorrow. Maggie Afro Shop, home of affordable food items. By His Grace and GQ Holiday Inn, simply deluxe.
Yo, what's up for GQ TV about life with you. This time we'll go on the English version. I always say when you are in the studio, phone should be off, and I have to also say the same example. Anyway, we start our program GQ TV live on Facebook. We had a technical problem, that's why the program has delayed for the past 25 minutes. But we're still going to do it. We have our team here, the sound IT boss Eric. He's monitoring the sound for us on Facebook. And then we have a Vigo who directing the program. We have Ambrose, we have Maui, we have Forsen. Today we have a big team. We have also our special guest, Sera Babakus from FITT, which is also an institution in Saarland. We're going to discuss about how you and I, as a foreigner, we can also have a standstill in Saarland, or we can use Germany as a whole. And if you want to set up a business, where and when you have to also start it. We have Sera Babakus as a guest. Afterwards, we'll bring the state of Ghana politics. We have Mr. Enin and Anajin also after this program. So don't go away and stay. We have more for you this weekend. So I will go straight to my guest for today. She's a German, but you know, as an international worker, she prefers speaking the English language. So I think it's also good for you. So maybe we'll try to mix it along the line. Barbara, welcome to GQ TV.
Thank you, GQ, very much. I finally got to visit your studio after a couple of years of saying that I was going to come visit. So thank you so much for the invitation.
Wonderful. We're also happy to have you here. We know we have something here, save the date, which is the 16th of May 2019. So I think it's very interesting for the African entrepreneurship if they want to set up a business here. But before, I would like you to introduce yourself short for me.
Sure, absolutely. My name is Sera Babakus. I work at FITT GmbH here in Saarbrücken. It's not very far away from your studio, actually. And I'm working in a project called MIGRIS. Okay. That stands for Migrantinnen und Migranten gründen im Saarland. Okay. And this is a project that supports migrant entrepreneurs. So
wonderful.
People from other countries, any other countries that want to start a business here in Saarland can come to me, ask questions, and I can sort of point them into the right direction.
Wonderful. Okay. But before then, what is this project, Migrants in, what is that project? What is it all about?
What exactly is it about? Well, I've been a mentor in this project since about 2017. That's when the project started. And it is a grant-funded project between the Ministry of Economics of the state of Saarland and the European Union. Okay. And our company, or our organization, FITT, gets the grant money to implement this project.
Oh, wonderful.
And it started because we've noticed in Germany and in Saarland in the past 10 years, actually, there haven't been enough people starting up new businesses. Okay. And what happens to an economy when there aren't any new ideas, when there aren't new innovative businesses starting up, is that the economy stagnates.
Okay.
There's not enough competition, there's not enough innovation, there are not enough places where you can go to work. Okay. So Saarland and Germany has decided, okay, how can we get this back going? How can we get this going? How can we support people to start their own businesses? And then Saarland started looking also at the people that live here and looked and saw, okay, we have lots of immigrants. We have lots of people from other countries that live here. Yeah. And we know that immigrant entrepreneurs are typically very, very successful. Yeah. Their immigrant entrepreneurs start up businesses more than German entrepreneurs usually. Yeah. So Saarland said, hey, let's try and finance something. Let's try and support these people to see if they can get something started up.
Wonderful. Wonderful. And how can someone also get the advice? They have to get to your office for any advice, tips to start the business.
Well, that's one option. So this project, MIGRIS, means that you can set up an appointment with me by email, telephone. Come to me in my office in Saaruferstr, directly here in Saarbrücken, and we would discuss your idea.
And the number is 16 or 6?
16.
16.
16, exactly. 16, yeah. Okay,
and the code is 66111.
117.
117. Okay.
You're asking me the hard questions. I gotta look at my cheat sheet here for a second. Any case, it's right at the beginning. About 10 minutes if you walk there from the main station.
Okay, wonderful.
And if you come to me for an appointment, we'll talk for about an hour about your idea, discuss what your thoughts are. I'll give feedback. I will ask a lot of questions. Lots of people are kind of put off by that because I do ask a lot of questions, but it's about getting the right information at the right time, because there's a lot that you need to consider if you're starting up a business in Germany. Okay,
and how long is it going to take? Like 15 minutes or 30 minutes or 1 hour if one has to book appointment with you?
It depends. I usually plan about an hour. Okay. An hour is the maximum, because after an hour, everybody is just exhausted and it's just too much input. Yeah. So I try to keep it 30 minutes to an hour at max. What we can also do is we can have translators or Sprachmittler and invite them to the first meeting so that everything is understood, because it's very important to me. I'm not German, by the way. Okay. You introduced me as a German. I'm not German. My last name is Babakus, which means I'm half Turkish, and I'm actually half Turkish, half American. So I can offer, you know, relatively rudimentary Turkish and English.
Okay, so you're half caste in a way.
I'm half. I'm a hybrid. I'm a hybrid. My husband is from Saarland, so I can offer those 3 languages, but there are a lot of languages that I can't offer myself. Okay. So we ask external translators to come in for the first meeting, because we want to make sure that everyone understands the most important information.
Wonderful.
And we also take the cost of that. We cover the cost of that.
Okay. So which means if someone has an idea but doesn't have money, there is also potential that you can also support in terms of finance.
So what we are not a bank, we're not a credit institution, so we cannot give anyone financial help.
Support.
But what we can do is make sure that all of the requirements are there to make sure that the person knows what is going to happen if they go to a bank. Okay. For example, what does the process look like? Okay. And that's something that we'll actually be talking about at the next event on the 16th of May.
Wow, I'll be there.
I hope so. I hope so. With your 100%. Whole crew, that would be fantastic. Lots of cameras, lots of publicity. That's the main topic of the event on the 16th of May, is financing and Förderungsmöglichkeiten for people from African countries. Okay. Yeah.
Specifically for for foreigners.
Yeah, for foreigners. This specific event, as I said, I've been working in this job for 2 years, and I mean, since 2015, since 2016, we've had a lot of people from Syria coming to Germany, coming to Saarland. So there's been a lot of focus on this group of people, which is very important, because there's lots of information that this group of people needs, because they're very new. But I'm trying to make sure, as the MIGRIS mentorin, that we're not forgetting other groups of people who also have lived in Germany and in Saarland for maybe a longer time, and who maybe also have different qualifications. So in my consulting, I've also had people from all other different countries as well. I've had people from Peru. I've had someone from Togo, from Benin. I've had someone from, no one from Cameroon yet. But I hope Ghana. I haven't had anyone from Ghana yet, but we're having a meeting soon, you said. So no one from Ghana yet. We've had people from African countries. We've had people from Russia, Turkish people, Greek. We've had really people from all over the world come to me, and that's something I really want to place focus on, is that we also have a really diverse group of people that's getting information and getting support. Because it shouldn't just be one group, but lots of different groups.
Yes, correct. Yeah, we shall form one bunch of amounts. Say, where yeah, Ghana for so so yeah, you may be a kwamba first abuam waye. Mama, when we save the date, 16th May 2019. Venue near House Africa, numerous 6. So those are our Nigerian friends. Also, I'll just explain it short for you that save the date, which is the 16th May 2019. The venue is House Africa, 6 p.m. But only 40 people will be just reserved. But anyway, if it's more than 40, I don't think no one's going to sack you from there. Be there is opportunity for you to meet people who can help you to establish your company, your business in Germany, and also see how you move forward. Your talent has been stored for years, so this is a privilege for you to show, I'm not going to say the world, but show the German people that you can also do something to help the community and to help the economy. So save the date, 16th May 2019. 6 p.m., 18 o'clock in House Africa. You know where House Africa is. All of us, we know where House Africa is. I'll be there, so be there. And after discussion, there will be a lot of drinks and also food. So just check that one out. Okay, wonderful. I think I have another question. That's how the event always goes about? Is it 3 months you organize event, one monthly or 6 months? How?
So there are sort of 3 different parts to my job. The first part is doing these, what I like to call first information orientation talks. So those are one-to-one individual advising sessions where, like I explained before, for about 30 minutes, we discuss the idea. And then I give my very honest feedback on whether I think, is this a good idea? Is it a less good idea?
Okay.
Does it need more time? Does it need more, maybe, research?
Okay.
That's one thing. The next thing is that once we decide together, okay, it's a good idea, let's move forward, we decide what the next steps are, and then there are potentially other people that you need to contact for more information. I'm only one person, I'm a very smart person, I'll give that to you,
Yeah,
but I can't know everything.
Yeah.
No one knows everything,
Yeah.
which is why we have here in Saarland, we have what is called the Saarland Offensive für Gründer,
Okay.
SOG, and I have this thing just to show you. There's always this, now I'm stuck on my paper, this blue suitcase that you'll see everywhere.
Okay, let me.
SOG. And this is a network of all of the relevant institutions in Saarland that can help support entrepreneurs. And most of them will give you a first appointment kostenlos, free of charge. That's things like the IHK, like the Chamber of Commerce. That's like the Handwerkskammer. The banks, so the Saarland Investitions- und Kreditbank, SIKB, the Sparkasse, they will talk to you about how do you get financing. So I'm one of many partners in this SOG Netzwerk. So when it comes to that point, I'm very happy to either make appointments so that you can go get more information at these partners' offices, or I can come with you if you feel like you need extra support. So those are the first two things I do, and then the last thing I do is information, information events, which is what this event on the 16th of May belongs to.
And you choose different places, not only one place.
We are sort of experimenting, to be honest. I mean, this is still a relatively young project, although my colleague, Frau Walczyk-Mannstein, she's been doing Beratung, she's been doing consulting for businesses for a very, very long time. I jumped in a little bit after her. But this project MIGRIS is a little bit new, so we're testing things. I mean, I'm trying to build the bridge essentially between this SOG Netzwerk, between the really official organizations where maybe, let's say, German people might go to first, and the organizations where maybe people from other countries might go to first. So something like GQ Waves, like Ghana Association, like Haus Afrika is a place where I will go to see the people that have the potential, that have this talent that you just explained, has been waiting and they want to do something with it, to try and find these people, activate them, make sure that they are informed, and bring them together with the formal institutions that they need to succeed.
Wonderful. So what about other migrants in, for instance, Italy, Spain, Belgium, Holland, if they can also apply, or first they have to live in Saarland before they can also have this privilege?
Well, technically, because this is a grant-funded program, I am here to help entrepreneurs in Saarland who live here and who want to start, or who want to start a business here. It could be that you're from abroad and you're thinking about starting up I don't know, there are lots of big companies right now that are talking about building their factories here, production facilities in Saarland. That would be something that I could also consult on. But it has to have a Saarland Schwerpunkt, focus in Saarland.
We have to concentrate our beautiful Saarland.
That's, well, you know, there is a lot going on here. I mean, this program is really unique in that sense. There are not a lot of other Bundesländer, a lot of states in Germany that have this type of support for entrepreneurs. So we're small, and what you always say in German, die Wege sind kurz. Which means all of these institutions, the formal institutions, I know all of the people there that you would have a meeting with. So it's very easy for me to call over there and say, hello, could we get a meeting tomorrow? Can you give us some more information? That's the benefit of being in Saarland. It's small here.
It's small, right?
So we can just call someone and see how we can get more support.
Wonderful. So I think, you advise everybody. I advise most people to come to Saarland, to visit Saarland, because for me, I think I tend it like, Saarland is my first home and Ghana is my second home. Because I love here, I love being here. I've been to Hamburg, I've been to other places in Hessen, but I mean, anytime I come to Saarland, I feel I'm really at home. And that's the most important thing. Wonderful, Sarah. So, the other thing, if anyone does not have experience, the person can still, if he has an interest to build a company, you can still support that person, irrespective of experience or that.
So there's no test that you take that says if you can do it or not. There are, of course, certain permissions that you need depending on what type of job you're going to do. So a baker, for example, in Germany has to have a Meisterbrief.
Okay.
Yeah, you have to have a certain qualification to become a baker, or else you can't do it officially. The same with people who cut hair, so Friseur. You have to also have a Meisterbrief. So there are lots of branches, industries where you need a specific either qualification or permission to do the job. That aside, whether you'll be successful or not, that's something completely different. Yeah, because if you have a Meisterbrief, you can still not be successful if you're not good at your job. Yeah, so that's where I always say it's not always what's on paper that matters. It's a lot of other things, and that's where I try to really sort of step in there, especially for people from other parts of the world who don't have everything on paper. Yeah, I know what it's like to not have a German university on your resume. That's not easy to find a job in Germany, and it's also not easy then to start up a business and get financial support if you don't have it on paper. But if you have other qualities, if you have other experiences, and you can argument them, if you are a businessman or woman and you can argue that this will work, and you have a good you've done good research, you've done a good analysis, and you as a person can sell it, then I would say you can be successful. There are a lot of small steps in between, but...
Yeah, this reminds me about Katja Kreuzer. She was working for Jugendamt. You know, I'm also coming out from LOS project back in 2005. And then I remember I told Katja that, you know, I'm good. I can also train people. And you know, I have learned, I have the talent. And he said, first start yours before you think of others. And this is a thing is getting to 14 years now, and now we move on the TV show. So like what you said, is you have to put a text. And you know, I'm also coming from such a project from LOS. So I'm grateful to have LOS back in 2005 from Jugendamt. So I think it's a very good project, and I think we're going to campaign it so that someone somewhere in Neunkirchen, in Homburg, in St. Wendel will also find, not only necessarily in Saarbrücken, because we have a lot of migrants around Saarland. So I know it's going to be very successful, I believe. So I have seen also workshops and seminars. So what is the workshop actually means?
So this is something that doesn't unfortunately yet happen very regularly. We're testing out different ideas. For example, 2 weeks ago, I was at another organization, Verein der Jungen Denker, die Jungen Denker. This is an organization also in Saarland that typically helps people who have an Arabic-speaking background. So women, families, and men who are relatively new here in Germany and in Saarland. And we organized a workshop there on the idea of skills set and competencies necessary for entrepreneurs. So we really looked at what do you need to know and what do you need to be able to do as a business person. And that means everything from writing a business plan, even if it's not perfect in an academic level, to be able to think through a business plan, which everyone needs to do, whether they give it to a bank or keep it for themselves. To calculating your prices. How do you know what, if you're selling this bottle of apple juice, how do you know what you should sell it for? How do you calculate that? Up until what do you say to the person that's buying it when you sell it? So this entire spectrum of the skills and qualifications that people need to have, we talked about that in a workshop a couple of weeks ago at this organization, and it was a very small workshop. 12 people were there. And the head of the organization also jumped in occasionally to translate into Arabic when it wasn't clear, though we did the whole thing in German. 3 hours, very rigorous, very intense, lots of questions. But at the end of the day, people had a better overview. What do I need to bring to the table? And we're excited, but also a little bit, well, we got to work a little. All right, we need to take a little more time and figure this out, because that's what, unfortunately, in Germany, it's really bureaucratic. The things that you have to do in Germany to start up a business, it's pretty bureaucratic, takes time, but if you've got the ambition to do it, then it's possible.
Thanks very much. So, but we have another problem with our community. we don't get the information. So where can we future get, probably maybe we're going to give a platform on GQ TV and GQ Waves as well, because all these platforms is because we don't understand the German very well, or we don't have time to listen to the German radio station. So in the future, is it going to be a possibility that we can reach our people?
So that's what I'm trying to do, very desperately trying to do. So the hope is, I mean, I'm only one person, so I am in this network, so I would invite everyone, if you want to make an appointment with me, to come with me.
I've already booked my appointment.
See, we've got an appointment with me, but all of the other institutions in this SOG-Netzwerk, they're also just as capable and just as willing to talk to other people. They may not have the time capacity to do the translation on the at the first meeting like I could. So that's the benefit you have if you come to me. But a lot of these partners will be able to speak German and English. So English, at least. More than that, we have to work on and see. Other than that, of course, there's information online in different languages. So if you go to, it's a really hard, long German name, I'll give it to you later.
Saarland.de.
Well, first of all, there's the SOG website. The SOG website, if you go there, there's actually a function now that helps you translate a lot of the text. And on this website, there are actually tips for your business plan. There are tips for how to get financial support, etc. And if you scroll over the text, you can choose the language that you want to translate into. So that's one way. I mean, it's not the easiest, but it's one way, and it works very well. Another way is you can go onto the IQ Network website.
I know. They're sending me emails.
That's good. I hope that you come to their events as well. They also have a website, Migrantenökonomie. There's a Fachstelle. There's like an expert circle that talks about issues with migrant entrepreneurship and labor market for immigrants. And there's a website there that has lots of different multilingual tools. So there are business plans in, I think, 12 different languages. There are also sort of like a dictionary in several different languages where you would see, like, who knows the word Liquiditätsplanung auf Deutsch? Liquiditätsplanung, liquidity planning in English, probably is much more difficult to explain in Turkish, in Arabic, in Twi. I don't know what it would be. But they have this sort of bilingual dictionary for entrepreneurship, so that you can already start to think about it, because the German language is very, very important if you're going to start a business in German. I mean, there are certain ways to get around it, but it's very, very necessary. So there are these multilingual tools and information as well, general information. But the first step would be, come talk to me, talk to partners in the SOG network, and we will point you in the right direction.
I booked my appointment.
Or to you. I mean, what I also have to say is there are a lot of organizations, I would call them maybe Migrantenvereine, like Haus Afrika, like Ghana Association, that have been working in Saarland and in Germany for a very long time, before I even was here. So, and these organizations have been doing a lot of the work. I know Herr Conte von Haus Afrika, he's a business consultant. I know he's been doing a lot of the things that now I've been doing for 2 years for a long, long time. So he's very experienced. So for me, it's about more opportunities and not about telling someone what is the right person to talk to. It's about saying there are different places where you might get a different type of information. And it's very important to use those resources and not be nervous or scared to talk to the more official ones. And it's the same for me. I shouldn't be nervous or scared to talk to the less official ones. Why would I be? Because there's experience and competence everywhere.
We have to have the courage.
We have to. We have to talk to each other and see where are the questions also, you know? Only because I talked to Lamine Conte at Haus Afrika did I hear about, he gave me his feedback that financial support is difficult.
Yes, that's correct.
I would say it's difficult for lots of people, but it might be more difficult for certain groups of people. And I will not deny that. So we decided let's do an event in May, on the 16th of May, where we invite the SIKB. That's the Saarländische Investitions- und Kreditbank. That's it's a Förderbank, which means that they give good rates and good conditions on credits for entrepreneurs, startups, and young businesses. So that's the place you would go to get good rates, essentially. There are things that come with it. There's lots of work and lots of requirements, but that's one option. So at this next event, we'll have someone that will talk to us about what are the financial options and how do you go about getting something like that.
Okay.
And then we also have Zaris, who's going to be at the next event, and he's going to talk to us about the Beratungsprogramm des Saarlandes.
Okay.
And that's a consultant program, and it is a way to get financial support when you visit an official business consultant. So as I said, I can do the first talks, I can take you to meetings, I can guide the way, but I can't write your business plan.
Yeah, cool.
And I can't do a full-blown market research for you, or customer
You have to
research.
do it yourself.
You have to do it yourself, or you have to have someone that helps you to do it, and I don't have the hours to do that.
There.
For example, he would be one person that could do it,
Yeah.
and through this program, you can get some of the costs for this type of Unternehmensberater, you can get some of the costs reimbursed.
Okay.
So these are two opportunities for financial support, and that's what we're going to talk about at that event.
Ah, wonderful. Your last word, because we think we have we end our discussion for now. But don't forget, 16th of May, I am also there. Come, this is the time that's probably the startup. You meet with the big men, the one that's going to support you. I'll be there. House African, 16th May 2019. 6 p.m. Don't mix it. I'll be there. On the 16th, I think that's his Donnerstag.
It is a Donnerstag. Yep, that's a Thursday.
Okay, your last word before Barbara says something. I'm going to give the contact of Barbara. The telephone. Sarah, Barbara, Babakus. Yeah. The telephone number is Saarbrücken code 0681 58 67 99013. I hope you're going to write it again. 0681 is a Saarbrücken code. Then you have a 58, we have a 67, we have a 99013. Then you can also email her on the Babakus at JIM-HTWDE. Babakus, that's the BABAKUS, Babakus. And then at J like Germany or Ghana, I Isaac, M Martha, minus H like hello, T like tree, W like Williams, .de, the short form of the web Germany. So when you write to her, I think she's going to reply you, and it's a privilege for you to also have a stand in Germany. Barbara, your last question to our audience. I will check later on Facebook if there's a question for you, but give us a last statement for our viewers before we end up our talk show today.
I would say if you're thinking about starting up a business, focus on the idea first. Focus on the idea, because ideas are what inspire people. I've done now about 150, 200 individual appointments since I started.
Wow.
And a lot of people come and they're very, very focused on the bureaucratic hurdles, which is understandable, because everyone wants to do it right. The people that come to me want to do it right, don't want to do anything that's illegal or will have problems later. They want to do step by step the right thing, which is very, very important as well. But what's equally important is that you come with an idea that you're willing to work on and work on and work on until you know, I'm going to have customers. Because you can get as much financial support as you want, as many credit institutions as you want to support your idea, but if you're not making money every day through your idea, through your business, then you're going to close shop.
Like the GQ TV have an idea of bringing the German news into Chi, so that those living here can also understand what is really going on in Germany. This is our first idea.
This is a great idea.
We'll be the first person to be there.
All right.
Barbara, thank you very much for being our guest today, and we hope it's not going to end here. Future projects we also have. We would love to have you on our screen.
Thank you so much.
And thank you so much.
Thank you to your team as well today.
You're welcome. Okay, that was Barbara. Sarah Babakus. I always forgot the Sarah and then come, so I will be used to with the time. So we'll end our program, but don't go away. We start our second program, the state of Ghana. We have our guest in the studio, Nanajin, experience in the Ghana politics. We have an analysis expert on the politics, Mr. Enin. We're going to start our program in the next few. Don't go away and stay tuned. We are on the Facebook Live, GQ TV. Like, share, and follow. And don't forget, later on our program, maybe we could not answer certain questions for you. We're going to premiere our program with Sarah Babakus also on YouTube, GQ TV. So you can also answer most questions. There was something I wanted to ask, but it just came to my mind. Sarah, before you go, just 30 seconds. If someone has 2 years visa, he can still establish his own business.
This is a tricky question that I try to avoid. I don't want to say yes or no. I have to see the specific.
Okay.
I have to see the permit and residency status.
Okay.
I have to check it. It's sometimes tricky. So call me. We'll have a meeting. I have to see that.
Okay.
Sorry.
This is a very. I know. When you go to certain questions, I know you have to have, for instance, paragraph 18. Paragraph 18 helps you to work also to certain companies and for 2 years, and also paragraph 25, which also help you to work 1 year consistently with a certain company. If the company quits you, then your resident permit and the working permit is also ended. I mean, it's a part of my job, also making more research on that as a journalist and as a translator. So I don't want to push Barbara to certain questions. That would be more hard. Just call the telephone or email and the questions will be answered. But I think Germany, Saarland has more for the foreigners. They love receiving foreigners. They love helping foreigners. I'm one of them from SOS back in 2005. So I know what I'm talking about. So be serious, take it serious. It's not a joke. Your ideas, your talent, just bring it on board and they will help you with all support that they necessarily need. So this is the book that if you want to be self-employed and where you can also get financial support. But this is a book. And then there's also here, like, you pick your bag and you go with your ideas. Actually, this is your ideas that you take with you. So we end our program here. We don't take much time of the program. GQ TV live on Facebook, like, follow, and share. Facebook, later on GQ TV. Thank you. Stay tuned. We're coming back.